Europeans and their needs. 500 years ago, Europeans dreamed of a better life. They ate well, but they wanted to eat better. They wanted pepper and other spices. Spices came from Asia by land, and they were very expensive. A famous sailor, Christopher Columbus, thought he could reach Asia faster by sailing west. The Queen and the King of Spain accepted his plan. They paid for the ships he needed and his travel. Columbus set off west to Asia. Asians and the land east of them. Between Europe and Asia, and between the Pacific and the Atlantic Oceans, there is a large and long land. When Columbus sailed, no one in Europe or Asia knew about this land or the people who lived there. The Asians didn't remember that thousands of years ago, some of them had gone to this new land. The people in the new land. In this new land, some cultures had remained very simple, but others had developed. By the time Columbus sailed, the most important cultures were the Aztecs, the Mayas, and the Incas. Their cultures were quite developed because they had calendars and knew how to write. These cultures built pyramids and big cities. They believed in different gods. They used silver and gold. They knew how to fight their enemies. In addition, there were different groups of people with very simple cultures. They often fought each other for land or food. Christopher Columbus. Columbus sailed with his 3 ships. He traveled for 36 days. When he landed on one small island, he thought he was in India. He called the people Indians. Columbus went back to Spain, but later made 3 more trips. On his last trip, he found the mainland. When he died, he still didn't know how far Asia was, or how big the new land between Europe and Asia was. Amerigo Vespucci. The New World was called America by Amerigo Vespucci. Vespucci was another explorer who traveled along the coast of South America. He was the first one to understand he was not in Asia, but in a new land. He named it after himself, and so it became the Americas. More than just spices. The Spaniards were excited with the new land they had discovered. The explorers had different interests. Some wanted to become rich, others wanted to spread their religion, and yet others were simply interested in making more discoveries. The Queen and King of Spain wanted silver and gold. Thousands of Spaniards sailed to the Americas, hoping to get what they wanted. Explorers and conquerors. The Spanish explorers wanted to go as far as possible and find new lands. Nothing stopped them. They soon explored the Americas from Florida to Argentina. Conquistadors like Hernán Cortés and Francisco Pizarro didn't want to explore. They wanted to conquer the land and own it. They wanted money and gold for themselves and their king. They fought until they won. Cortés and the Aztecs. When Hernán Cortés arrived in Mexico, he met Montezuma, the king of the Aztecs. Because the Aztecs believed the god Quetzalcoatl would return one day, Montezuma believed the Spaniards were gods. All was peaceful for a while. Later, other Spaniards arrived who wanted to replace Cortés. At the same time, some natives rebelled. A war began and Montezuma died. Many Aztec people died from smallpox, a disease the conquistadors introduced. Those remaining fought against Cortés. Even though Cortés only had 600 soldiers, he defeated the Aztecs. Cortés began a new government in the name of Spain, 100 years after the conquest, the Aztec population had decreased from 25 million to 1 million. Pizarro and the Incas. Meanwhile, Francisco Pizarro heard about the Incas' gold and silver in Peru. Excited by the success of Cortés, Pizarro attacked the Incan Empire. He killed Atahualpa, the king of the Incas. Pizarro entered the capital city, and soon the Incan Empire belonged to Spain. What Spain brought to America. The Spanish brought horses, cows, sheep, pigs, chickens, big dogs, and cats to the Americas. They also brought guns, cannons, a new religion, and plants such as wheat and rice. Not everything that they brought was a benefit for the Americas. The Spaniards also brought diseases that killed the native people. What America gave to Europe. America gave Europe many new goods too. Among them were potatoes, corn, tomatoes, chocolate, vanilla, tobacco, turkeys, bell peppers, avocados, and pineapples. Owners and workers. In the Americas, the Spaniards planted cities and took control of the land. The native people were forced to work for the Spaniards. They were not paid, and they were poorly fed. They felt a great resentment toward the Spaniards. By the end of the 16th century, Spain ruled the Americas. Life after the conquest. After the Spanish conquest, the Americas changed. People spoke Spanish. They became Catholics and lived according to the Spanish culture and laws. The cities looked like cities in Spain. For 3 centuries, what is now Hispanic America was ruled by Spain. From the time of Columbus, other European countries wanted to settle in the Americas too. They conquered and won other parts of the new land, such as the British in North America. In the 19th century, the Hispanic countries fought for their independence from Spain. They became independent republics. However, we can still see Spain's influence in their language, culture, and beliefs.